Talk 820 time is 5:48. I got to say, today's show was just wonderful. We got to the heart of so many issues. We had a little bit of fun. We learned a few lessons, and I'm going to be leaving the studio momentarily, feeling a great sense of accomplishment, and we will return tomorrow. However, programming note: there is a Blue Jays game tomorrow. They are playing the Detroit Tigers, and it starts at 12:30. Which means that we might start a little bit late. Regardless, we will join you at some point after they're finished the overtime periods in the game. Right now, let's do this.
The Dave Shuttleworth Show presents The Last 820, and it starts now.
So we can't get away from the Lindsay Lohan stories.
You can't.
I can. I can't because it's just getting ridiculous. So she told Us Magazine after her partner Sam Ronson had split things off that it was absolute hell for her. You know, Ronson hired 5 security guards to keep Lohan out of a party.
Wow.
Her parents want to get a restraining order. And now Lindsay's like, everyone's turned on me. You know, even Nicole Richie and Andrea De Matteo are like, come at me, biatch, you know. And, she says, I'm just a 22-year-old girl who's in love. I felt like I was in Mean Girls, but worse. Okay.
What happened?
I don't know. But, Mean Girls, hello, it's a movie. Okay, when you're starting to relate movies. Now, the best thing is she was caught on video. Hang on, let me get this. She was caught on video being asked about this. She still doesn't get it. She doesn't think it's over. You people make it seem like it's over. It's not. People take breaks. It's okay. It's normal. Focus on themselves. Okay, Lindsay, it's over.
Oh, my gosh.
Freak show.
The trouble with Mean Girls is that it actually had some real stars in it, too, that have done very, very well with their careers. Unfortunately, she was the lead and didn't work out that way. Okay, this story here of Keith Urban, who's a mega celebrity country star, pop country star. He's married to one of the hottest actresses in the world. That would be Nicole Kidman. And his band has been accused of pulling a Dave Matthews.
Dumping?
They unloaded their septic tank in a rather inappropriate way. This was in New York. And for those of you who don't know, a couple of years ago, Dave Matthews' tour bus driver took the bus over a steel grate bridge in Chicago, unloaded the tank into the river. There happened to be a tour boat underneath, and everyone got showered. I mean, as funny as it is, it's pretty rude. Keith Urban's bus driver apparently did the same thing at 3 o'clock in the morning after a gig in New York. And the New York Post is reporting they turned up, and there was just a ton of you-know-what that they had to clean up.
3.
That's some celebrity poop you get there. That'll be on TMZ before long.
This is kind of disturbing, yet kind of funny at the same time. California man, he's been accused of selling his 14-year-old daughter into marriage.
What state is this you can do this?
California. Don't get any ideas, Dave.
Yeah.
Jen's listening.
Yeah, no.
Sold his 14-year-old daughter into marriage for $16,000, beer, and meat.
And there's no carton of smokes in there, too. Okay.
Marcelino de Jesus Martinez pleaded not guilty in February to procuring a child for lewd acts, aiding and abetting statutory rape and child endangerment. If convicted, he faces 10 years in prison. So he made a plea on Monday, meaning he will be sentenced May 7th, get this, up to a year in jail.
That's it?
Yeah, but then he'll be deported.
Oh, okay. Well,
which is great because, now he can continue doing the same thing.
Where he's from.
So, fantastic. Yay, justice system. 4.
As long as they're clearing them out of the system here, the U.S. doesn't necessarily care. Okay. You got to love a town that loves their mayor, right? If a town loves their mayor, and look at Mississauga. They've elected Hazel McCallion for over 30 years now, so she obviously knows, how to do things right. So voters in the town of Winfield, Missouri, re-elected their mayor for a 4th term yesterday. His name is Harry Stonebreaker, or his name was Harry Stonebreaker. He was re-elected for his 4th term, but he died about a month ago. It was March 11th, and he died of a heart attack at the age of 69. I feel sorry for the other guy who ran against him, who only got 10% of the vote. You figure when your competition dies that you're actually going to win the vote. He only got 23 votes. So obviously they're going to have to go back into the town constitution and figure out who to appoint as mayor.
5.
But his name was already on the ballot.
This is one of those, what do they call them? Not Murphy's Law stories, but the Darwins.
Yes.
The Darwin stories. Man in Chilton, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. I'm unfamiliar with that, but it sounds like a small town.
He's facing an arson charge.
Okay.
After telling authorities he wasn't thinking when he decided to use gasoline for cleaning up his apartment.
Why would you use gasoline to clean up your apartment?
Then he tossed a lit cigarette into a pile of gas-soaked cushions and clothes.
Okay, so something tells me he's not telling the truth.
The criminal complaint filed Monday quoted a 47-year-old man as saying he knew gasoline is flammable and he never should have used it. He said that when the fire began Friday, he didn't pull the fire alarm, but instead shouted fire a couple of times.
And he probably said a couple of times.
And walked to the Menasha Police Department for an ambulance to take him to the hospital where he was treated for burns.
It was an apartment, right? So he's not trying to get an insurance claim or anything like that. You remember the story of the 12-year-old girl in Quebec who sued her father for grounding?
Yeah.
Okay, she ended up winning that. And the father appealed. And yesterday he lost his appeal. So she wins. So this is huge ramifications. He was taken to court by his 12-year-old daughter after he grounded her in June of last year. And he lost. He went and sought an appeal. And he appealed in a higher court and lost that as well. The province's court said the girl was caught up in a very rare set of circumstances, and her father did not have the sufficient grounds to ground her at that time. She was grounded, by the way, for posting inappropriate pictures of herself on the internet and going on those online dating services.
7.
Father banned her from going on a school trip. She sued. She won twice.
There's a human rights tribunal just waiting to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you ever play soccer as a kid, Dave?
I did. I was hopeless.
Okay.
I was awful.
The best thing is penalty kicks. I always liked penalty kicks.
Yeah.
A lot of drama, and
a lot of covering up of the private
yeah,
areas,
and
which is kind of funny.
And unlike basketball, when they're on the free throw line, the crowd behind is waving sticks. It's okay. That's cool. That's the crowd. Football team. They're called Chorlton Villa. I don't know what division they are, what level they are.
I have no idea how it's soccer. It's like the NCAA as far as I'm concerned. It makes no sense.
Well, during a penalty kick, one of the players was given a yellow card because the opposing team, as they were taking the kick, he farted.
What?
He farted, and the referee gave him a yellow card. A couple of other players got sent off. The penalty was retaken, and the goal was scored. Apparently, they say it might have been with the hands. One of those.
Oh, right.
Those kind of things.
If I was staring down the barrel at a penalty kick, I would do more than just fart, to be quite honest with you. Okay, Tommy Lee, drummer from Motley Crue, always good for a story. He did an interview most recently with Hustler, because I know you always read Hustler for the articles, right? And the fact that Tommy Lee's doing an interview in Hustler means you're going to pick up the magazine. In the interview, he recalls a story in the band's early days when they were regulars. They were essentially the house band at the Whiskey A Go Go, which was a very famous club in downtown Los Angeles. Remembers a time when Nikki Sixx, the bass player, took a club and smashed the window of an unattended police car and urinated in the car. Just a funny story that he is recounting. The Los Angeles Police Department would like to let Motley Crue know that they are currently investigating that story. That is true. So a funny rock and roll story that happened in 1984 becomes a cold case file in the Los Angeles Police Department.
What was the name of their album? Theater of Pain?
In 1984, I believe they were still touring with Shout at the Devil.
Okay.
But no, I mean, when they were playing at the Whiskey A Go Go, he says this is a 25-year-old story. When they were playing at the Whiskey A Go Go, you're talking 1980, 1981.
Okay.
Is when you're talking there. So as they say 25 years, you're actually looking at more like 30 years.
Theater of Pain.
Is that the best you can come up with?
I'm struggling.
I see. I would have gone with Dr. Feel Good. Dr. Feel Better after I have a pee. That's what I would have gone with.
Win.
You know what? That's fine.
You win.
That's right. All right. That's it. We've got news with Robin Foley at the top of the hour, followed by primetime sports with Bob McCowan. Blue Jays or Bulldogs tonight? I'm getting confused.
Bulldogs.
Hamilton Bulldogs.
Pre-game starting at 7.
All right, with Derek Wills and Al Craig joining them on this one, or
I hope so.
all right. The only reason I asked was so you would do the impression. I will talk to you after the Blue Jays game tomorrow on Hamilton's all-new talk station, Talk 820.